He once joked, "That's why Jennifer keeps me around, she always looks better next to me." It sounded light, almost playful, but behind that humor, there's a deeper story about Ben Affleck, a man who reached the very top of Hollywood and still found himself searching for something he couldn't quite hold on to: peace. After the massive success of Good Will Hunting, Ben had everything most people dream of: fame, wealth, influence. But success didn't quiet the noise inside him. If anything, it made it louder. His early relationships, including his time with Gwyneth Paltrow, were filled with passion but also instability. Hollywood's pressure, combined with his personal struggles, slowly chipped away at what could have been something lasting. The love was real, but so were the cracks forming underneath. Then came Jennifer Garner, and for a moment, everything felt different. With her, Ben experienced something he had rarely known: stability. Their relationship wasn't built on headlines, but on quiet moments, family, and the hope of building something real. When they married in 2005 and welcomed their children, it seemed like he had finally found his anchor. But even that wasn't enough to silence his inner battles. Addiction crept back in, slowly but relentlessly, and over time, it put a strain on the one relationship that had given him the most peace. By 2015, their marriage ended, not with anger, but with heartbreak. Ben later called it the greatest failure of his life. What followed was a period of reflection, but also confusion. He continued searching for connection, including a deeply emotional relationship with Ana de Armas. For a while, it looked like a fresh start, something simple, away from chaos. But sometimes, timing matters more than feelings. Their relationship ended quietly, leaving behind memories that felt meaningful, yet incomplete. And then, just when it seemed like the story had already been written, life brought back the one person he had never truly let go of: Jennifer Lopez. Their love story, once cut short in the early 2000s, suddenly had a second chance. When they reunited in 2021, it felt like fate stepping in. This wasn't young, impulsive love anymore. This was something deeper, shaped by years of experience and regret. They married, believing this time would be different. But sometimes, love alone isn't enough to bridge two very different worlds. Ben has always leaned toward privacy, quiet, and introspection. Jennifer, on the other hand, thrives in the spotlight, open, expressive, and deeply connected to her audience. At first, they tried to meet in the middle. But over time, those differences became harder to ignore. Public exposure, personal boundaries, and emotional expectations slowly created distance between them. By 2024, they made the difficult decision to separate. There was no dramatic fallout, just two people realizing that despite loving each other, they couldn't fully coexist in the same rhythm of life. And that realization, more than anything, left a lasting impact on Ben. In the aftermath, he didn't run from the pain, he faced it. He returned to therapy, focused on his children, and worked to rebuild not just his career, but himself. Projects like The Accountant 2 marked his return to the screen, but his real work has been happening off-camera, learning balance, protecting his sobriety, and redefining what happiness actually means. Today, Ben Affleck's story isn't just about fame or failed relationships. It's about growth. About a man who kept searching for love, even when it hurt. And maybe the biggest realization he's come to is this: real peace doesn't come from finding the perfect person. It comes from finally understanding yourself. So the real question isn't who was the love of his life, it's whether he's finally learning to be at peace with his own.